While we wait, I've just been reading the chat as well. Someone says anything. Can we be told anything about next year's calendar? Is there anything coming up that
Well,
is
yeah. So look,
exciting?
without getting into, I actually did my at work today. I do a town hall every month, so I talk to my total organisation every month, and they ask the same question. So the process for calendar, if people don't know it, goes like this. Um, we put forward a proposed calendar around May time, and then that goes to the FIA, and the FIA will approve it, and it goes through their committee, the FIA council members. It gets approved in June. So until it's gone through the FIA in June, there is no approved calendar. What I would say is there will be some old favourites on that calendar, and I mean favourites. There will be some new races on that calendar,
Yeah.
but as of today, I think there are 12 new locations that my team are assessing, who have people who have come to us with and expressed an interest in having a Formula E race in their city or location, and there are 12 of them that we are currently going through the feasibility process with.
Yeah.
So it, it's a, as you can imagine, building a calendar is very complicated, but we have lots and lots of live options.
Yeah. Okay.
Mega. Nicola should be able
Hey,
to hear
Nicola,
us
how are
now.
you?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, sorry, I muted myself. Sorry,
Yeah.
fellas.
That's okay. Go ahead. Ask your
Right.
question
You've
to
got
Jeff.
Jeff. What question would you like to ask him?
Hey, Nicola.
Hi, are you all right?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. My
Good.
question is, I know that you've been going to some permanent tracks recently.
Mm.
Will there still be the traditional street circuits, or is Formula E looking in the future to go to more permanent tracks?
Yeah, great question, Nicola. Thank you for asking it. So, right. So, if you go back to the start of Formula E, and some of you might have, we're in our 10th season, some of you might have been watching it from the start. It was all street circuits. So it was all city centre street circuits. And over those 9 to 10 years, we've started to introduce a number of other types of circuit. And I break our circuit types down into actually three different types. You've got what I would call a very traditional street circuit. So maybe that's Monaco, or it's somewhere like Diriyah in Saudi Arabia. You've got an absolute obvious proper fixed circuit like a Shanghai or a Portland or Misano, where we raced last weekend. And then there are other circuits that fit in the middle of that, something like perhaps Berlin, where we're building a circuit, but it's not right in the city centre, but it's in a location. We won't lose our DNA, Nicola. So we know that one of the things we're famous for, one of the things our drivers love, one of the things that we love is having street circuits and driving in the biggest cities in the world. However, we also have cars that are getting faster and faster and faster. If you put today's Gen 3 car back on the first season's racetracks, it wouldn't be able to race safely. I don't know if you saw the Rome race last year. Rome is a good example of that. We were racing in the heart of the city. We had two massive accidents. Sam Bird, very lucky boy, the touch wood. Thankfully, everyone walked away safely. But the cars are right at the limit for that circuit. Now, next week, I'm going to launch a new car, the Gen 3 Evo car, the Gen 3.5, which will be on the racetrack for next season. And that car will be materially faster than the existing Gen 3 car. So what we've got to find are the street circuits that can show the potential of the car safely, but then occasionally we're going to use a fixed circuit, to mix up the type of racing we do, but also to allow the cars to show how fast they can go at top speed and how fast they can accelerate. So it will be a mixture, but I would say, if I were to guess, maybe 60-40 still in favour of city circuits and street circuits, but you will see some iconic fixed circuits go in there.
Thank you, Nicola, for your question.
Thank you very much.
So thanks, Nicola.
While we get the next caller in, I just want to build. I'll build on that then. As Australasia, it's the one area Formula E hasn't yet been to in terms of the continents around the world. And obviously we've got Mitch Evans, we've got Dick Cassidy. How important, I don't want you to tell me if one of those 12 cities are an Australian, because I know you're not, but how important do you think it is for Formula E to go down under in either Australia or New Zealand?
Especially with Nick and Mitch.
Yeah. Well, look. So first of all, Nick and Mitch. I'm not allowed to have favourites, by the way. Two lovely fellas, great racing pedigree, two fantastic racing drivers. And and doing a great job for Formula E. I think there is Australasia is, first of all, it's a relatively small market by population. But it's an important market for motor racing. You have Formula One there and other big motorsports there for many, many years. One of the other challenges we have at Formula E is also you have to remember that we're very focused on sustainability. So we have to plot our way around the world in the most efficient way from a transport and logistics point of view. And it won't surprise anybody, Australia is a long way away.
Yeah.
So putting it in as part of a sequence, part of a flow around the racing calendar is not quite as straightforward. So I think to answer your question really candidly, and I try to be super straight up all the time,
Yep.
it's a place that our drivers would love to race. It's a place we would be very interested in racing in. It would need to make sense in a flow of the calendar around the world. But let's be straight up, it's probably not right at the top of our list. Because if I go out and talk to our manufacturer partners, Porsche, Jaguar, Nissan, people like that, and I go and talk to the teams and partners, the people who invest in us, Australasia won't be seen as one of their top markets. Their top markets will be seen as North America, China, India, places like that, Central Europe, Western Europe. So that's where they will be prioritizing. So there aren't people banging my door down saying you need to have a race in Australia.
Yeah, fair. No, fair. It's the one continent Formula E hasn't been in. I believe.
Yeah, no. How good would it be, by the way?
It'd be amazing if we could get to Sydney or Auckland or Brisbane.
Even Adelaide would be all right.
Yeah.
Brisbane's got Surfers Paradise as well.
Exactly, the Gold Coast. I think we will race there. So I think we will race there. I think it's unlikely we'll be racing there next season, but I think we will race there at some point.
At some point. So it's in the vicinity that hopefully one day in the future we will hit that continent, which will be amazing to see.